I want to write a poem, something really interesting, like how a crow flew past me, and I almost thought something about that, just for a second, you know. I almost thought it meant something. And sometimes I feel like all this noise around me and temptation to stare at a screen and use electricity and the noise of the fans of my computer and like, what am I doing with my life? And I smoke too many cigarettes and I want sex too much, you know. And I'm not I'm not really who I want to be. And I don't know what I want to be. That's probably half the problem. And I want to make a difference, but I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be rich necessarily. I mean, it's a nice idea, but it's not really about being rich. If I owned my own apartment and had a platform for my poetry or spoken word or whatever it is that I'll do as a way of helping the world, you know, like getting ideas out there to the world about something. I know you need fans, you need people that are interested in what you're saying, you need consumers that are going to at least consume your artwork. It's a sad realization that you have to produce a product. And I want to produce a product cheaply or free and give it away for free or cheaply. But still survive, you know, financially, even if that means I have very minimal expenses, which is a really nice idea for me. I really like that idea. Sacrifice my thrills in order to create a way of thinking for myself and being that can produce work that's interesting, that might help people become wiser and happier, perhaps, or more knowledgeable, or something better. Or at least put something out there that they can work with, you know. That my mistakes might warn people, or my depth might encourage people to see past the superficial world that we've become. And it's normal to be superficial for a man or a man like me to be attracted to a beautiful woman, right? And I might not even know what she is like what her life is like or even care about any of that when I see her pretty face. I think the best of her. That I want to have sex with her, that I want to talk to her, that I want to be around her. It's because we're visual and we're superficial. She could be a serial killer. And then, you date a serial killer and she kills you. So that wouldn't be a very good idea when you think about it in the long term. This friend, ex-lover, ex-person that I don't talk to anymore said that writing with a pencil on a piece of paper is the best way to express your thoughts. And I said to her, even though she didn't agree, that talking is the best way to express your thoughts. So that's why I'm recording this, and it might get deleted and no one might listen to it. And I need technology to make this happen, to put this in the digital realm to be listened to. And maybe no one's going to listen to it. Or 10 people will listen to it, or one person will listen to it. And, it's not very many people when you consider 7 billion people in the world. Or whatever, more than 7 billion. I mean, maybe you could just say, well, that's the start, right? That's the start of something. I don't know how you would make spoken word like this, just talking, into a interesting thing for people, that people would want to sit down and listen to me talk. I'm not sure that anyone just wants to hear me talk, unless I was like a psychologist talking about psychology, or an engineer talking about engineering, or a poet talking about poetry. But when I write down things on my computer with my keyboard, there's this separation. And here's what I wrote just before doing this audio recording. I wrote, a pencil that reminds me of using charcoal, electricity, horrible in some ways. I can't exist in this mess. And I just feel that that's just not what I really think. It is, but it isn't, It's not really how I think about stuff. It's not the way I think in my mind. It's not the way I speak. I don't actually believe what I'm saying in this poetry or whatever it is, right? I don't think I fully believe it. And maybe that's because I've written a lot of stuff on my computer. And with this separation from mind to the digital world, I think maybe it's nearly impossible to truly put yourself into a physical thing, without some kind of separation. There's no oneness that is possible completely, I don't believe, except for your voice, right? Your voice is more, at least more closely linked to your thoughts.